Reserve Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago has said that there is an urgent need for the implementation of prudent macroeconomic policies and structural reforms that lower costs and raise investment and potential growth. Last month, Treasury put up a policy paper for public comment which stated there were 5 fundamental building blocks of sustainable growth. The growth reforms identified included lowering barriers to entry, addressing distorted patterns of ownership through increased competition, and implementing focused and flexible industrial and trade policy. Treasury estimates that if the policy interventions were implemented, there could be an increase in GDP growth by 2.3 percentage points over 10 years and a creation of 1 million jobs. The trade war between the United States and China has plunged global growth to its lowest levels in a decade, the OECD said yesterday, as it slashed its growth forecasts.
The trade war between the United States and China is dragging down global economic growth to the lowest levels since the financial crisis. That's according to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which said Thursday the worldwide economy could face long-term damage if governments don't do more. The OECD said the outlook had taken a turn for the worse since it last updated its projections in May, since trade tensions have fueled uncertainty as they take an increasing toll on confidence and investment. OECD chief economist Lawrence Boone.
Between US and China, just between the two of them, you can see how much harm it's already doing for investment this year and for the next 2 to 3 years. It's a massive drawdown on the investment growth that we could have hoped to see.
The Paris-based organization sees world growth rates slowing from 3.6% last year to a mere 2.9% this year.
It's National Wills Week, and the aim is to raise awareness on the importance of having a will. Consumers can approach the Law Society and some banks to get a free drafting of their wills. Naledi Matlapeng has this report.
A will is a legally binding document that allows you to decide how you want your assets to be distributed after your death. This will ensure that your assets are distributed according to your wishes. Recent statistics released by the Master of the High Court reveals that 80% of people who died did not have a will. This is likely to cause conflict in their families and could lead to a situation where the winding up of the estate is delayed.
The Wills Week, basically, the entire industry, the Master of the High Court, etc., is trying to drive the awareness of the importance of the wills for the public in South Africa, and some of the consequences of being without it and the benefit of having a will in place. So while it's for the week, hopefully this kind of impetus carries on throughout the year.
If you don't have a will, the Interstate Succession Act will apply. This means that the Master of the High Court will appoint an executor who will decide how your estate will be distributed among your beneficiaries. But it can take a long time to have an executor appointed, and the extra cost may be incurred.
What actually happens if you don't have a will is that your estate devolves in terms of interstate succession. Now what that means, there's an act that actually determines the different rules that apply at different levels, which then determine who gets to inherit from you. So worst case scenario is someone who you did not even want to inherit from you suddenly getting something from you simply because you didn't have a will in place.
When you die without a will, even those you did not want them to inherit your assets will benefit. A will gives you an opportunity to decide how your estate will be distributed among your dependents. This will help minimize family conflicts when you've passed away. You can also draft your own will, but make sure that you meet all the legal requirements. Ensure that every page of your will has a signature and that your will is certified under oath. You need to also update your will regularly when your circumstances change.
There should be witnesses that witness you as the party that is making the will signing it and attest to the fact that you appear not to be doing this thing under duress and it's a reflection of your wishes. If you are unable to sign and you use, for example, a thumbprint or something of that sort, then that part needs to be certified, and generally you'll find that there's a commission of oaths or somebody like that that would actually certify that the mark that you make or the thumbprint that you use is actually tantamount to your signature.
A will can be contested from time to time, which can be a costly and stressful exercise.
There's different grounds one could actually use in order to challenge a will. For instance, the issue of saying either the signature is forged, the signature of the testator is forged, or the document itself is forged. That is one way of trying to challenge a will. A person can also make an allegation to say, look, the testator's capacity, he was not of sound mind when he made this will.
I'd like to hear your views on this topic. My email address is mulifint@sabc.co.za. My Twitter handle is @mulifinaledi.